Radio Bypass, bringing you rock and roll music that deserves to be heard. Discover new bands. Here's some old favorites on Radio Bypass.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Radio Bypass, rock and roll that deserves to be heard. Today we have some returning guests that I'm always happy to talk with. It's always great catching up with these guys because we've had the chance to ride alongside them through their musical evolution the last few years. It's been a lot of fun. Joining me once again are Eric Fraser and Ryan Jones from Corvus Lore. The band recently dropped their brand new single, Promise You, and if you haven't heard it yet, you need to fix that immediately because it absolutely delivers. And that's just the beginning. They've also got a brand new LP coming this June, Bury the Beauty. Every time these guys come back on the show, there's another layer added to the story, another step forward musically, and today we're diving into the new single, the upcoming record, the creative process, and everything happening in the world of Corvus Lore. Eric, Ryan, welcome back to Radio Bypass, guys.
Thank you for having us back, Ralph. It's great to be back. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good seeing you, man. Thanks for having us.
Same here. Always a pleasure and always exciting to hear new music from you guys. And Promise You promised me just another great song, delivered on that. So let's talk about the single first. What was the spark behind the song, and why did it feel like this was the right track to kind of kick off the album, the next chapter of Corvus Lore?
Well, the interesting thing behind that is that the song almost didn't make the album. I was in recording sessions with our producer, Tim Narducci. We already had pretty much all the songs figured out for the album. And in between breaks, I played him a recording of Promise You that I wrote years ago, being played on acoustic, and he looked at me just like, "Are you an idiot? Why would this not be on the album?" And I was like, okay. So long story short, obviously it made the album, and really the quick and skinny why we released it as the next single, we just wanted to show a different side of the band. Mm-hmm. A lot of songs that we do that have a lot of dynamic twists and turns that maybe the average listener wouldn't understand or know that Corvus Lore does some of these different types of songs, and they get lost sometimes. With it being as strong as it is, we felt like it was a really good way for us to kind of introduce another side to Corvus.
Okay, well, that makes sense to me. And what I liked about this song, I think I had told you guys this when you were here for Feather Me Through, that the guitar in the beginning of that song really captured my attention. And now on this track, it's kind of toward the end, where you kind of go into this jangly kind of guitar sound, and it's a real cool, it just comes in at the right time,
It's ear candy.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So, yeah, I was kind of thinking about that when I listened to it the first time. I'm like, oh, okay. The last song was the beginning guitar piece that really wrapped me in, and then this time it was toward the end that it really wrapped me in. Not that I didn't like the whole song, of course, but just that guitar part was cool. All right, so as always with your songs, as we've learned, there's a lot of thought behind them, and once again, the song feels just very emotionally driven, as really all of your songs have. But and I think you kind of answered the question a little bit that I had, but you can expound on a little bit. Was this a song that was written quickly or over a long period of time?
Yeah, I had the music, like I said, a long time ago, but I never had really any lyrics pinned to it. And once it was decided that, okay, we want to do something to this, which sounds kind of funny because sometimes the melody and lyrics come first before music. In this case, it was the music first. Didn't have a melody or anything, and lyrically, it didn't happen overnight. It was somewhat of a very long process because essentially what the song is about is my covenant with my family, and basically through faith, anything is possible and can be overcome, and this can never be broken. So, where lyrics like in the chorus, when the oceans run dry, I'll be the tide. I'm taking that extreme example of something that may be all lost, but is not. And so it took a while for me to really try to wrap my head around what does everything mean?
All right.
And how do I convey that but also at the same time not be so on the nose. Because again, I always want the lyrical content to mean something to the listener that, maybe isn't obvious to me. Maybe it means something totally different to them. So, but yeah, it took quite a bit of time to get through it. I'm really happy with the lyrics. So I think they're pretty special.
I agree. Of course, you should feel that way about all your songs because they've all been like that. But yeah, I agree. And then since this was something you had written some time back, when you brought it into the mix now, did it take on any new developments, or is it pretty much just what you had written originally?
The framework was pretty much the same, but all the nice little bells and whistles and pixie dust that Eric sprinkles everywhere was phenomenal. I mean, you mentioned the jingly guitar towards the end. That seems to be an area that really is a major earworm. And
it sure is.
The magic of writing with someone like Eric is you might hear something a certain way forever, and all of a sudden Eric comes in and goes, watch this. And then all of a sudden the song takes a whole new turn and a different breath of life. So really, really cool. Really cool. So we worked all that stuff out as we kind of injected the song to the band.
Gotcha. And then this single, this time I did. I know I've told you guys before, I usually don't watch videos for a while, but this one I did watch the video ahead of time before we got together today, so I'd have an idea of what that was like. And I know you had released the initial day was like through Brave Words or something. You kind of did an exclusive. Right. And having watched the video, it's again very well thought out and interesting to watch, and of course the song's great to listen to. But since you did it the way you did through Brave Words and everything, I wonder if this expanded your reach any. Like, what's the response been like to the song and to the video?
It's been go for it, Art.
Yeah, well, number one, we're just super excited that Brave Words would want to have an exclusive on the video and hopefully give it kind of the prominence we were looking for. And the feedback on the video has been really interesting because, well, number one, people are usually quick to point out that we're still one of those bands that likes to put out videos that have a storyline and try to put in a few different locations. Fortunately, this time Ryan didn't try to set us on fire or put us underwater or
working on it.
There's water involved, but
this is true. He put his own life in peril in that rowboat.
That's true. We almost sank.
But some of the feedback I've gotten is just that I think we heard in a prior interview that someone thought, but prior to seeing the video, that once they heard the song first and then saw the video, that they thought it was a really good marriage of the mood that the song was creating. And then so that just is a testament to Ryan and Mike Sloat, the director of the video, to kind of pull in an aesthetic and a visual that supported what Ryan's vision was. The other thing I've heard too is actually from my neighbors that live across the street over here. They were talking about how they thought it was pretty rewarding that it was kind of multi-generational. And so I think Ryan has a funny story about that, how we captured some of the folks kind of like 11th Hour for that.
Yeah, it was funny. We were literally filming in the Sebastiani Theater in Sonoma. It's like, it was built in the 1930s or something like that. And we had extras to be seated in the theater. Not all of them showed up. And I went to the entrance of the theater looking for potentially, okay, maybe there's some last minute stragglers. And there was this older couple there, and they were at the door and like asking me, hey, is there tickets to the show tonight? And I go, oh, I don't work here. I'm sure you could probably get the tickets for the movie later on, right through here or online. And they started walking away. And I said, hey, I go, guys want to be in a rock video? And she doesn't even hesitate. Her husband's like halfway down the block already, and she turns around. She's like, Jim, we're gonna be in a video. Get over here. He comes tootling back, and they sat, and they were total troopers. They were amazing. They were amazing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they were a total value add. And during the shooting of the video, there's one point where So Ryan was intentional about placing some elements in the water scenes and how they make their way back to the theater. Well, one of the segments right before the guitar solo was to have like the theater masks come back onto the musicians. I was wearing one of them, and the older lady turned around and she just kind of like, she didn't know that I was wearing it, and she kind of jumped back and she said, "Oh my God, can I take your picture?"
That's awesome.
I mean, they were troopers. They stayed with us for like almost 2 to 3 hours. So I don't know their names, but thank you if you're watching this interview.
Yeah, no. She asked me, she goes, "Can we go now? We've been here for a long time." I was
like, yes, you may, and thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. The video altogether, I mean, there's a lot too. I mean, this looked like, what probably would have cost $1 million in 1984 or something. And again, I'm always impressed with just all the thought that goes into it. Like you were talking about, there's a lot to the story here, and it all connects. But it looks so pro and so big time. How long did it take to put that all together? I mean, you got a lot going on in this video.
Right. I think the storyline is what took quite a bit of effort, a lot of back and forth on that. Once I had the storyline, it was really kind of coming down to like locations. And Mike Sloat, who's the producer, director of this one again, who's just phenomenal. One of the original locations I was thinking was actually in White Sands, New Mexico. And I was like, "Sloat, let's do it. Let's fly out there, yada, yada, yada." Or I have this other concept with this rowboat and everything. And Mike was like, "Well, we've already done some mountains like Tahoe and snow. So I don't know if the desert will have the same vibe." He goes, "Let's do the rowboat." Okay, I have a storyline for it. So yeah, we had 2 locations. I already mentioned the other one, Sebastiani Theater in Sonoma. The rowboat was just amazing. We were lucky to get out of that. Slit was worried because he had a very expensive camera, and we didn't realize that the boat had a leak.
Oh no!
We were out there, and no motor or nothing. I mean, I was doing the rowing, and he's like looking around. He's like, "Ryan, I got water coming in down." I think we need to go back in and drain the boat, try to fix it, and get back out. And none of us had anything to. Either one of us didn't have anything to patch the boat up, except for Mike had these mouth strips for tape for sleeping.
Yeah, right.
Put them on the bottom of the boat where the hole was.
Oh my God. It held?
It kind of worked.
Wow. That's amazing.
Scenes done. So we filmed all the robo scenes literally in like 2 hours. And then it was almost a month later before we could get everybody scheduled and the theater available up in Sonoma. And that was just a full day. So it was just really a day and a half of filming altogether. And then, of course, the editing process, which Mike is phenomenal at, takes some time.
Well, and the concept, too. They had to take a bit to figure out how you were going to put it all together.
Right. So the concept, as Eric was alluding to a little bit ago, in the robo scenes, you see certain items floating by. And what those items represent are major milestones within anybody's given life, like the bridal veil, getting married, right? The chasing of money, which really in the grand scheme of things isn't important. There were certificates. Actually, a little inside scoop that I haven't shared with anybody on any interview is one of the pieces that are floating by is original handwritten music by my grandmother from the 50s, who was the president of the Unified School District Association down in LA. She taught piano and to all the neighborhood kids. And so it was one of her original pieces of work. And I grabbed that as a tip of the cap to her and saved it. And then some items, as Eric mentioned, they appear in the theater. And the theater masks, represent, the joy and pain of life and all that stuff,
right.
Obviously.
Tragedy, yeah.
So you're right. And then, you see me pick up the cross at the very end, and that ends up on the floor in the theater wet. And so anyways, we try to incorporate all that stuff. I think, fortunately, the lyrical content allows for a lot of visual ideas to come forth. So you don't have to think too hard, I would think. I don't know, but
I didn't have to
super
do it. I'm
proud.
sure you did.
Yeah, we also we got to give kudos to our drummer Joe Cloutier, who in prior videos has worn costumes before. Like we did a video out at the was it the Santa Rosa Airport for a song called "Romantic Traffic," and we gave Joe kind of the pilot aviator outfit. And this time he's our theater usher. Thank you. Yeah,
he fills those roles really well. He loved being the pilot in Romantic Traffic, and you could tell he really relished the role as the usher here. He does it well. He's natural. He's natural. He's like he's been doing.
Oh yeah, he's perfect.
Yeah,
that's great. That's great. I just absolutely love that. I'm wondering, at the end, as you guys know, I always play the new song. So, of course, we're going to play Promise You at the end of this. But I wonder if I should just have you send me the video, and I should just put the video in at the end. So that way those hearing this will obviously hear the song, but then those watching will get another look at this artful video you guys put together. So I think we should talk about that.
Love it. Great idea.
It's really cool. Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. That gives us a lot of information, I promise you. So now I'm excited about the album because even though we've talked before about, it's a singles world and all that's important, of course, I still love albums. I know you guys do too. And so Bury the Beauty, I love this title. It's a powerful title. And I was wondering, again, because I know you guys think about stuff a lot, what does the phrase represent for you guys, and how does it connect, or does it connect to an overall theme of the album?
So to answer your first half of your question, the line "Bury the Beauty" is actually in the second verse on a song that will be on the album. And really what it represents is that you can never bury truth. You can never bury, what's true, good, and beautiful. It always is going to find a way to spring new life and come to the top. And so it sounds like Bury the Beauty is like it's an end all there, but in reality, you can never, deny it. Or like I said, you can never deny truth or what's good and true and beautiful. So, and that's how that lyric is actually used in that content of that in that song. So that's what it means. And does it have an overall time theme? No, I think it's pretty relevant just to that one specific song. The overall theme for the album, which I honestly didn't really realize until later, has a lot to do with about family. It's kind of like a lot of the overarching theme of the album. Lucida had a thing about really home, and this one's more about just family and our relationships and where they are and who they are and what they're doing and how we kind of get through everything together in life. So that's kind of like the overarching theme of Bury the Beauty.
Awesome. And compared to, this will be what, album 3 now, I think. Mm-hmm. So compared to the previous releases, where do you think, how does this album push you guys creatively, do you think?
There, take that one.
It's definitely, Ralph, I think it's showing maturity for the band. And we all, the four of us listen to different types of music, and but the reason why we spent so much time putting this particular selection of songs together was because of, Ryan will come in with like the bones of a great song, and usually it's done on acoustic. Sometimes he'll write it on electric, and then we inevitably, as the rest of the band members, try to figure out how to take it to the next level and really bring it to its final formation. And but we explored some new areas on this record, and Ryan and I were talking about this on a drive we were taking over the weekend about how what new instruments were we trying on this album, and there's some featured parts from our piano player that we worked with, who's also an engineer at the studio that we recorded the album at. He's just doing some beautiful piano solos. We added some parts that are Hammond B3s. We added some mellotrons, and And even in one song, we finished with some backyard crickets, and so there's some really unexpected things, but they all have a purpose. And if anything, I think the album is definitely showing some growth for the band.
Awesome. And was there any particular song on the album that really challenged you guys, either creatively or emotionally?
Oh, wow. That's a good
Ryan,
question.
you have to take that one.
That's a good question.
And it's because of getting to know you, Ryan, that I think this way to even think to ask you a question like that.
So I think so Feather Me Through, which really was the first official song on the album and the first single, right, that we released. That song emotionally for me was really, really, really tough, but also freeing at the same time. It's about the passing of my dad,
right,
and still being super fresh. And I remember really kind of struggling with, we had the music and I was really questioning myself on melody and all that stuff and some of the lyrical content. And I'll never forget, I just had a major breakthrough one day and just driving, and the melody hit me like a ton of bricks, and I just lost myself. It was such a amazing moment, and it was just incredible. So emotionally, that song pushed me quite a bit. There's also a song on the album here it's actually the last song on the album. It's a long one. It's well over 6 minutes, but we love it. We don't care. It's just, we're doing it for us, and hopefully everybody else loves it too. But that song really challenged me from a playing perspective, because I am beyond isolated. I mean, I might as well be standing naked out in a field with nowhere to hide behind a tree or a barn. And so vocally very vulnerable, and musicianship very vulnerable too. There were some songs like that where incredible vulnerability really pushed me and challenged me in terms of emotion, and just from a playing perspective, from a musician standpoint.
Awesome.
Yeah, the only thing I would add on to that too is that we also introduced a new band member during the recording of the album. Mike Onetto had been our bass player for a number of years, and he actually recorded. I would say he did record 7 of the 9 tracks that will be on this album. So that was another challenge too, was just we wanted to make sure that we got Johan Hill, our new bass player, on the album, and to have his contribution to the band, commemorated. And so he appears on the last 2 tracks, that one of which was the epic 6-minute one that Ryan referred to. And Johan he really killed it, and it was actually very rewarding to see him tracking in the studio with us, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Yeah, it's an amazing song. Really, really like it.
Awesome. I look so forward to that. And that's a good segue to another thing I had written down for myself. A while back, Eric, you had sent me a couple of songs to check out, give you my thoughts on if I thought anything was maybe a standout one versus the other type of thing, as maybe the next single to follow Feather Me Through. The 2 you sent me was not one of the tracks, obviously. Promise you was not one of those. But honestly, both of the songs that you had sent, were really strong. I'm sure I shared that with you at the time. But now I've just got to ask, because I loved both of those songs, did either of them, or hopefully both of them, make the cut to be on the album?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for sure. They are both going to be on the album, and I think the 2 that I sent over were very different in terms of feel and vibe. And
yes,
but you gave me some really good feedback, and well, we'll just have to see how that turns out in later June when we get the full thing out to the public.
Yeah, and that's another question I have is: I know it's June, but do we have an exact release date yet?
We're targeting late June.
Gotcha.
Not a hard date, but it will be June for sure.
Gotcha. And physical and digital, or just digital initially? How are you guys releasing it?
It'll be digital initially. I would love to do some physical. Absolutely. It's something you got to have it, right? I mean, to me, after all this time and effort and energy and everything, I cannot have it just living in a cloud somewhere. I need something tangible. I need it in my hands. So we'll add physical later.
Yeah, I just read an article maybe a couple of weeks ago that even CD sales picked up some just recently, and that maybe young people, they attributed it to, are realizing it's kind of nice to have my own personal collection and something to hold and revere. So we'll see if that trend continues.
A bunch of sales for CD players now.
Maybe. I still have the same CD player I bought in 1984. It still works like a dream.
Nice. Well, Ralph, I was going to say the other thing too is that Ryan does a lot of the collaboration and getting kind of the artwork done for the albums too. And it would be a shame if all we ever saw of it was like a little 1x2 inch tile on a streaming platform. So we should do some physical stuff for sure.
Yeah, and it's so fun these days too. I don't know where people are getting all these made, but all these different types of vinyl too is so cool. All these different colors and patterns, and then I saw one recently where there's like some kind of liquid injected inside the vinyl. I don't know how it works, but it's blood spinning around. I mean, I can't get over some of these things I'm seeing in vinyl recently. It's pretty neat.
Process. I'll take the vinyl with the blood, please. Oh, that's an extra, $250.
That's right.
Yeah. That brings it to like $100 for the album now, but, which is funny too. When CDs first came out, we got used to paying higher price for those than albums, vinyl, and now it's the other way around. Now the vinyl's a lot more expensive than the CD.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it's fun, and it's still great to have. I mean, I end up getting sometimes both the vinyl and the CD from a new artist because I still want to be able to load it into my computer so I can share the music on the podcast. But then also I want to sit in my music room sometimes with the highest fidelity possible and just spin the record. But I got to say, some of these cool records I've bought recently and the different color vinyls and things, you almost don't want to play them because you don't want to damage the cool coloring or anything. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So yes, I agree with the artwork you guys do and just all the thoughtfulness that you put into everything that you do. It would be really good if you got some physical product out there, but I know it's another expense and everything. But
I'd love to do vinyl. I would love to do vinyl. If we were to do vinyl, I would do it for this one.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, well, hopefully that'll happen. I'll keep my fingers crossed because, getting to know you guys the last few years and talk with you and stuff. Even today, this morning, Ryan, I was thinking about you, knowing we were going to talk later today, because I was thinking of something I read many years ago. Maybe it was in Guitar Player magazine, maybe it was in Hit Parader. I can't even remember. But Pat Travers, one of my favorite guitar players, was described at the time as being the thinking man's hard rocker. The thinking man's hard rocker. And that's kind of where I would put you guys in a way too, as your music, because it does. It makes you think, as we talked about Feather Me Through, I told you what my feelings were upon hearing the song, and then you shared what it was about, and we've done that with other songs of yours as well, had those conversations. And so that's really, that popped into my head today, that's an apt description for you guys today in 2026 that I read somewhere probably in 1980 or something about Pat Travers, that you're the thinking man's rock group.
Wow. Ryan, are we ready for that?
No, I'm not.
Moniker? Or?
I don't want people to feel like that they have to graduate with a high degree of some college degree to listen to our music or anything like that.
No, I'm not suggesting that.
Well, it's just cool because it sounds like you're saying that maybe what we're delivering isn't just surface.
Right. Exactly. When I listen to your music, I mean, so some music, and sometimes that's good. Some music is just kind of fluff, and it's just something to kind of listen to and kind of have in the background and just maybe feel good or something, but doesn't invoke anything in your brain, doesn't make you think of anything. No images come to mind as you're hearing that music back there. And then other music invokes some images within yourself and makes you think about stuff. And that's what I think about your music. When I listen to it, sure, I can just listen to it in the background, but I don't know, there's more to it, and it just gets me thinking when I listen to your songs.
I really appreciate that. We definitely, as you shared with us, many times, and even today again, I really appreciate your deep thought and dive into the song and just the band in general. Yeah, we try to, every song that we put on an album, there's a message. There's something going on there that
exactly.
Really, by and large, it's personal to me. And like going back to what I shared earlier, it's not to be on the nose so people can interpret it into their own way that means something to them. And yeah, there's music for every situation in life, right? Like you said, there's fluff and things like that, just hip hop, whatever. I don't know. I'm not trying to put anybody in a box, but Corvus Lore tries
its purpose.
Yeah, everything has its purpose. And Corvus Lore, though, has always been about, how can we write the best possible song? Take a lot of tremendous work and going into the craftsmanship of it, and then the messaging. What's the lyrical content? And I'll agonize over lyrics for a long, long time just to make sure it's right. And the hope is that someone listens to it and gravitates to them and means something to them and helps them out. Really, that's what it's. We want people to get lifted up and get inspired. So that's why we do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Music can be a healer. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll just ask you a couple more things so you guys can get some dinner or something. I just got two more things. So, because I know I could talk forever, especially with you guys. I always enjoy talking with you. But
likewise.
Once the album releases, June next month, what's next for you guys? Are you releasing another single just before the full record release? Are you doing another video? And of course, always the question of live shows, even though I know that touring's not easy for anybody these days. But those are my questions. What's next for you once the album, as we get closer to the album release?
Take that one, Eric.
Yeah, we are, as you are very well aware, Ralph, we're promoting the single right now, and super excited that, in just a few weeks we'll be getting the full album out. But I think what Ryan and I were discussing was maybe post the release of the full album, maybe revisiting the full set of 9 songs and see if we may want to maybe put an emphasis on another track. We love doing videos, so then that's kind of the upside. And it's tough to get people's mind share to want to listen to a full album. So the fact that we may revisit the idea of doing another single even post-release, I think just would give it more legs.
Agreed. And I think we just lost Ryan.
I'll have to take the last question.
And do you have any upcoming shows booked right now? I didn't see anything on your website. I looked at that this morning.
We don't currently, and we're working with our label right now to just shop out, any potential larger opening up for nationals. I think is where our heads are at right now, and let's focus on playing more of the local shows. But if one comes up, we'll do it for sure. And our goal right now is just to get outside of California and to really kind of test drive and deliver the music to people beyond our box here. Gotcha.
All right, and then my last question was going to be, if somebody were just now hearing Corvus Lore for the first time, and this new album probably will bring some people that are hearing it for the first time, what would you hope they take away from the music?
Oh man, that's a really great question. I hope their takeaway is that there's some sort of familiarity to the music, in that we're definitely not reinventing the wheel, but what we are doing is hopefully doing, I think we kind of these days put it more like a revival, modern classic rock. I think that's the best way to put it.
Excuse me 1 second, buddy. Ryan's trying to come back in here. Hang on 1 second.
Maybe he can correct my grammar.
I hit the admit button, so hopefully he'll get hooked up here shortly. But no,
Yeah.
I think you're doing fine. So carry on. Okay, Ryan.
Yeah.
Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back.
Just in time.
Yeah, just in time because we're on the final question. We don't hear you right now, by the way. And Eric was just trying to field it all by himself, but you can jump in as soon as we have your audio back. Still not hearing you. See you, but don't hear you. Oh,
well,
we
there he
lost
goes
him again. I think you're on your own then, buddy. It's all you, Eric.
that truly is the takeaway, is that we want people to definitely, like what you were saying, Ralph, just get into the fact that we're not just putting out, quote, hard rock, and that there is hopefully people are sensing the depth to the music. And I'm hoping that there's melodies that like stick in their brain and they want to hear the song more than once. And certainly with a song like Promise You, there's the potential, we hope, for crossing over to an audience that might be broader than just like a heavy rock type of listener.
Yeah, well, I think there is. I mean, even with your past releases, honestly, I think you guys are pretty broad in what you do, at least to my ears.
Yeah.
And we got Ryan's face back. Do we have audio this time? Yeah, I don't know if it's internet. Internet, maybe? Maybe, oh, wait, he's moving again. We got something.
Oh, he can't hear.
Now he can't hear us. So let me just try something real quick. Sorry, folks. This is kind of a live interview because I don't really edit these things much. So let's just try. Let's try that. Did that do anything for you? No? You still hear me though, Eric?
I can for sure, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sometimes I've noticed once in a while if I redo the audio once, when somebody is having trouble, it seems like it works, but it also could be that they just did something on their end that actually was what worked. Okay, well, sorry, man. All right, well, stay there. Yeah, we should probably just message him. All right, well, I guess we'll just wrap it up. So, everybody, we've been talking to Ryan until he was silenced by the media gods, and Eric from the band Corvus Lore. Always wonderful having you guys here. I'm so excited about the new album. He's not hearing this, but let him know.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to that in June. And now we just got to crank up, Promise You. Do you think you guys want to send me the video, or we're going to put the video in here at the end?
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
Okay.
We'll connect with details.
So you guys watching, stick around and see this really cool video. And again, you'll see what I mean about why I see all the thought that these guys put into what they do and create, how they create their art, which for me means a lot. Hopefully it does for you too. So stick around to see the video, and if you're just listening, that's okay too. Just crank it up a little bit louder and check out this great song from Corvus Lore, and go to corvuslore.com, follow them on Facebook, subscribe to their YouTube channel. Keep an eye on them because I'm sure we got a lot of great things still to come in 2026 from Corvus Lore. Eric, Ryan, I know you can't hear me, but thank you for being here once again.
Thank you.
RadioBypass.
All right, Ralph. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Be well. Bye.